welcome back. My name is Emma and this is my YouTube channel, Pilates on the Mat with Emma. Today we are going to focus on one of the 5 basic principles of the Stop Pilates method, and that is shoulder placement and scapula isolation. So learning how to stabilize the shoulders is just as important as learning how to properly contract the abdominals. Since there's no bony attachment to the shoulders against the rib cage, the shoulders have a really big range of motion and mobility, and we always want to feel that the shoulders are stable and they're not rigid, but they have a long width against the back and the ribs. So today I'm going to give you some tips on how to find that, and hopefully that'll help you avoid any tension in the neck or the shoulders while you're practicing your mat work practice. Good? So let's get started. First, I will go over the different rotations the shoulder can go in. So first, the shoulder can rotate upwards or downwards, so really rolling forward in the shoulders, or upwards and pulling down underneath here. So if you took your hands like this and pressed the palms down and really allowed the shoulders to come forward and around, then you could feel what I'm talking about. They also have the mobility to elevate up towards the ear, which I see a lot in group training classes. You want to keep the shoulders down and maintain this length in the neck. As well as sometimes when people really want to stabilize their shoulders, they go too far down and then you get this stress here. Another one is protraction and retraction. So meaning that you pull the arm away and the shoulder blade glides from the rib cage and you're creating more of a dome in the back, or a roundness in the back, rather than stabilizing and keeping a straight posture. And secondly, pulling the arm back so that it's getting this wing position where it's pulling away from the shoulders. So sometimes it always makes me squeamy when you see someone pull their shoulder blades back and you can see these wings and they're really mobile in their scapula and they have to stabilize it. So those are just the different ways that you can see how the shoulder moves with you. And if you think about it, if you think about a picture of a skeleton in a classroom or something, and you think about how the shoulder blades lay up against the back of the ribs, and that's where they sit, and so you really have to work to stabilize there. And that's what I mean to keep the shoulders flat against the rib cage when you're practicing, so that they're not protracting or retracting or rotating up or down. So the first exercise I'll give you is a little elevation and depression. So just keeping a flat back, and you can relax your arms to the side. I just want you to do a shoulder shrug. So you glide the shoulders up towards the ears, inhale. And as you exhale, just slightly glide the shoulder blades back towards each other. And what you can imagine or picture here is a V. So as the shoulder blades glide together, imagine them sliding down towards the spine in a V position, in a V-shaped position. And holding them there. And then inhale to allow the shoulder blades to lift back up towards the ears. And as you exhale, sliding down into the V position. Be mindful that you aren't jamming the shoulders into that V position and creating that extra tension behind there. So keep it nice, keep it soft, and just feel that you're contracting the muscles behind the shoulders to stabilize there. Good. And we can do that a few more times just so you can figure it out. So inhale, shoulder blades glide up towards the ears, and as you exhale, they slide down into that V. And you don't need to do this with your hands. I'm just kind of trying to, if you think that these are your shoulder blades, they're pulling together, and then they're lifting and they're pulling together. Good. So hopefully that you can feel that. And you want to kind of have the sense that they're sliding towards each other, but not overly doing that. All right? Good. The second one is a protraction, retraction exercise. And this is actually a good stretch or practice that you can do, especially if you're working like forward on a computer. Actually moving through the shoulders is a really great way to relieve any postural stress. So I won't go too much into stretching the shoulders or anything, but maybe you could try out my back video if you want to check that out and practice there. Okay, anyways, so the second move, or the second exercise I want to go over with you, is the protraction retraction. So if you reach both arms forward and keeping the length in the neck, so as you reach the arms up, you shouldn't lose the stability of the shoulders and pulling the shoulders up. See if you can draw the shoulder blades down, just like we spoke about, without overly doing it. So moving from behind the shoulder blades, I want you to lengthen the arms forward and feel how the shoulder blades glide flat against the rib cage here. And as you exhale, I want you to slightly draw the shoulder blades back so that they're almost kissing. Good, so this is your retraction. Inhale to reach away, and that is your protraction. Notice that my elbows are straight, so there's nothing going there on with the bones there, or the joints there. You're just moving soft, nice and soft behind the shoulder blades. And you're going forward, and you're drawing the shoulder blades back. Good. Inhale and exhale, and finding some place in between. If you took your hand underneath, like near your armpit and behind, you could feel a muscle here, and just drawing the muscle down so that you could kind of tighten here. So here it's a little loose, but if you pull down, you should feel a little sense of stability behind the shoulder blade. If you go too much, then it's a little too tight. So finding that stability behind the shoulder blade. Good, so some examples I notice when I'm in group training classes, if someone isn't correctly stabilizing the shoulders, is that, for example, in 4-point kneeling, if you come onto your hands and knees, and maybe it's a plank or push-ups, I see people fall down here, and they're trying to work, and their shoulder blades are, hanging, and they're trying to work here, or they'll go into a plank position and there's no stability there and they're really hanging. So trying to keep the back flat and the shoulders flat against the rib cage. So they're not here, they're not here. So that's a good exercise. So if you come down onto your hands and knees and you did something like that, going back and forth, your shoulders should never be here in that hanging position. You don't want to hang in the shoulder girdle. So press out, keep it flat, keep it smooth, and then begin to work from there. Reaching one arm up and down, up and down, finding your push-up or plank position and working here so that you don't hang. And that can help you in your everyday practice. It's also good to be mindful that, so whenever you're moving the arms, for example, overhead, the shoulder is going to rotate up and maybe lift up towards the ear, so just drawing it down so it doesn't go too much up. And when you're flexing forward, the shoulders will go into more of a protraction. So if you come here and you lift up, the shoulders are gliding away from the center of the spine and going into that protraction. So always just maintaining a sense of stability, but also allowing the shoulders to move so that you aren't locking them in place or straining anywhere. So I hope this helps you. And if you need any tips or advice, you can always reach out. And this is the last Pilates 101 video. So hopefully all of these videos tied together can help you figure out how to train properly on the mat and help you find how to contract the proper muscles, how to place the neck, the head, the ribs, the pelvis, all of that good stuff, and get you going on your mat work practice. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day. Goodbye, and hej då, or adieu.